Good morning. I know what you're thinking. Mark, new robe, strong robe game, thus robe chat. This particular robe has a lot of significance to me because it is the robe given to the house guest on Celebrity Big Brother that wins a competition. Thus, the HOH robe, head of household robe, is in my possession right now. I was in the HOH position in the show. Might not mean anything to a lot of you Big Brother fans know how special that is. I had the profound and wonderful opportunity to be on the show, Celebrity Big Brother, the first celebrity edition in the U.S. in 2018. I can't believe it's been that long already. And what happens in the show, for those that don't know, is everybody goes in a house and lives there together for the duration of the show. There is no TV, no internet, no books, no news, no nothing. You literally walk into a studio and walk into a house that's built within a studio, and you live there for how long you last in the competition. And you're surrounded by other human beings, different personalities from different fields in the entertainment business. Wonderful people, but certainly when you throw everybody in a pressure cooker, things happen, and you see their true selves revealed, and sometimes not the true selves. People just lose their minds because it's crazy. And people have been quarantined for the last couple of months, so you get a general tiny idea of what it's like, very small. But imagine having no TV, no books, no Wi-Fi, no anything. That's going into the Big Brother house. Now, the celebrity version, we had it a lot easier than the regular version because it's a truncated, expedited version. I think I was there for 36 days total. I was just mediocre enough to make it to the finale. I wasn't a threat to anybody physically. I wasn't going to beat anybody with his mind, and I certainly wasn't going to beat anybody strategically in my gameplay. But I did somehow bake con and float my way, if you will, into the finale, which Marissa Jarrett Winokur ended up winning, beating Ross Matthews in the final. And the people that I went to the house with were Chuck Liddell, amazing dude. Chuck Liddell, love that guy. Such a great guy, so intense and always about the fight game, always working out, but always willing to help others and just a real gentleman. I remember the first night there, Chuck was getting a manicure and a face scrub from the girls, and I'm like, this guy is rad. Chuck Liddell's the real deal, man. So he's just a good guy. Chuck Liddell was awesome. Omarosa, someone who I had met before in passing but didn't know very well, and got to become good friends with her. We don't necessarily share the same political views. I don't even know what her views are now. I don't know what anybody's views are. But she was wonderful, really kind and warm and always positive and bright and a great cook. I can't cook at all. That's why you hear about my fast food and Sloppy Joe and cheeseburger, hamburger helper offerings, because I can't cook at all. But Omarosa was wonderful. Marissa Jarrett Winokur, one of the most special, radical, funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. She's just a bundle of joy to be around, always laughing. I can hear her laughing, and just, I was in a room with her and Ross and Meta, and we would just laugh in the morning. She was awesome. Ariadna Gutierrez, Ari, one of the most beautiful creatures God has ever put on this earth. And my wife says I can say that. It's okay. She's just, you take your breath away when you look at her. And she's even more beautiful inside. She's awesome. She was great. And a great player, too. Brandy Glanville. Brandy is Brandy. I love Brandy. She's a lot of fun. She kept that house interesting and fun, and kind of picked on James Maslow a lot because she had a crush on James Maslow. Brandy's going in that house to make something happen. And she's hoping maybe if there wasn't going to be sparks with James, there's going to be some sparks somewhere else. But Brandy knows how to give some good TV, and she was a lot of fun. Ross Matthews became I love that guy dearly. I loved him before I went into the house. I knew him a very little bit, but immediately we kind of connected, and I'm like, Ross, you're my dude. And Ross gave me a lot of information. There was kind of at the beginning of the show, for some of you that may remember, there was real division between the girls and the guys. And Ross was kind of a conduit between both teams and giving me little pieces of information to keep me alive and safe. So Ross, always be grateful. Meta World Peace. Man, when Meta walked into the house, I'm like, dude, you are so bummed. Being a gigantic Laker fan, and what Meta did in Game 7 of the 2010 Finals and the fourth quarter, I'm going to get emotional thinking about it. When he hit that three-pointer and had so many amazing defensive rebounds and offensive rebounds and kept the ball alive, his defensive play, it looked like we were going to lose. And I'm the biggest Kobe fan in the world. I love the guy, and may he rest in peace. But it looked Kobe like, not that a competitive spirit went out of his eyes, but I think Kobe almost felt like, all right, this might not go our way. And Meta's like, no way. Kobe, you carried us all season long. I'm going to carry the team the rest of the way here this last 6 minutes. And we won the championship. And when I saw Meta walking in the house, I'm like, dude, you are so bummed. I'm about to talk your ear off about that. And he's just wonderful. Meta World Peace is just he's got a childlike joy and sensibility and curiosity about the world. But he's so strong and such a great guy and just so protective of everybody. The guy really showed me so many sides of him I didn't expect. He's very cerebral and there's multi-layers to Meta World Peace, thus the name. James Maslow kind of became my ride or die homie in there. He's my dude. I'd watch him work out while I'd sit on the cardio bench. And dude is just Tom Cruise, man. Dude is just Tom Cruise. He's straight up maverick. James is great. Love that dude. Great talent too. Wonderful voice. And Shannon Elizabeth. Shannon Elizabeth was a beast. Shannon Elizabeth, dare I say, would win the regular season of Big Brother. She came ready to play. She knew the game in and out, back and forth. She came in acting like she didn't know anything about the game because she's a poker player. She's a world-class poker player to begin with as well. So she gave that poker face. But I knew a little bit about Shannon Elizabeth. And she was setting records in the early competitions. So naturally, we had to get her out of the house early. She was too good. But Shannon's wonderful and does so many great things with animals. And she's just great. Awesome. I use the word wonderful a lot because there's just a lot of wonderful people in this world. And then Keisha Knight Pullen. Keisha was amazing, very sweet, very kind. She was kind of the den mother for a while. She took care of all of us. And while she was there, she was an amazing cook, made so much great food, was always willing to share with everybody. Had some deep talks with her. She was great. Loved being a mom, and that's the reason why, she's an incredible mom. That's the reason why she ended up having to leave the show. So I met a lot of people and cast members I didn't think, you do some of the things you think, we'll have some fun, we'll say hello, and I'll have an acquaintance the rest of my life. But Big Brother, you get to meet them forever. You are tied to this experience that no one can understand. Because it sounds like, oh, you're going in a house and you're going to live with some quasi-celebrities, in my case, anyway, and blah, 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 and you're on TV and that's it. But literally, living there was pretty hardcore, 24 hours a day. We didn't go outside much because of, the turnover was so quick for the competitions. The production team at Big Brother is some of the most hardworking, creative, smart, problem-solving people I've ever had the pleasure to work with. So they were turning over these massive competitions in the backyard, so we couldn't even go outside and get some air. At night, they might let us out in a sliver of patio that you might have seen on Big Brother After Dark. And we'd be out there just like trying to smell the air because we couldn't see anything, and there would be some chicken wire and cage up the top. But we'd smell like turpentine and glue because they were making, and paint because they were making the competitions, making the challenges. And we were just trying to get some fresh air and just see the stars. And they'd maybe let us out for like an hour at night. So it was pretty heavy. But that's what Big Brother is. They put you on these sort of conditions that cause extreme duress, delirium, lack of sleep, and it causes you to like go crazy, be yourself, let your guard down, and compelling TV ensues. That's the idea. I mean, there's a reason why they're on 22 seasons of that show. I mean, they do incredible work. The people behind it are just so creative and incredible. So anyway, I know this is a long one today, but I'm switching up my Robe game. And so the HOH is for a competition that I won, kind of. And let me explain that. The competition was thrown to me by James Maslow because strategically it made sense for him to do that, because when you win an HOH, you've got a target on your back. People want to get you out because you're capable of winning competitions. So James let me win that one. Even though I had the fastest time in preliminary, James was gracious enough to give me the HOH, and thus I've got this. Now I feel comfortable wearing this and rocking it with pride because I ended up throwing a competition to Ross Matthews later. So I kind of won one as a whole. And you Big Brother players will know what I'm talking about. But it was an incredible experience. People ask me about it all the time when I'm traveling in airports. It used to be all about, hey, rock and roll Jeopardy and all that. And now it's about Big Brother. So it's been really fun to be part of the family. Something really cool. It was fun to do. It was fun to be on primetime TV again. All that stuff. It was just really a lot of fun. Really hard being away from the family. I thought I'd be eliminated in the first week or so. But I find out when I get in there, if you're not really a strong player, they keep you around for a long time. And I think I was the second oldest guy to ever win a competition. So old man gang, that was kind of fun. But the experience, people ask me, would you ever do it again? And it's unequivocally, undoubtedly, no. There's no way. Most of the regular contestants on the regular show through the year, by the way, hats off to everybody who's ever competed on that show and gone the distance. I can't imagine being there 3 months. Paul did it twice in a row. Evil Dick is a incredible player. I mean, Boogie, there's just so many amazing players through the years. There's a legacy of all-stars. But, you really, if you have a family and you've got a job and you run a job and it's hard to do that because you're literally off the grid. So, yeah, I would not do it again, but I'm glad I did it once. And that is it for today. Sorry if it was a long one. I changed my Robe game, so letting you know a little bit about what's happening. But as always, I wish you all a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves out there and back to your regularly scheduled programming. Jeez.